Deseret First Credit Union Hotline. John, welcome to BYU Sports Nation.
I really appreciate you guys having me on. Thanks.
John, you have worked your way into the hearts and minds of BYU fans all over the world with one simple article saying that essentially BYU is the option to make everything as far as scheduling problems go away, or scheduling problems with the Big 12 go away. Why is BYU the option for the Big 12?
It's a no-brainer to me. And to be honest, I'll take you back a few years, back when the Big 12, I don't know, had open call, had an audition, had interviews for their other two members that they wanted to expand to 12 members. I said at the time, this was what, 2013, 2014? I can't even remember the year now.
It's every year, probably.
It's probably every year the way these guys flirt together like this. But no, I said back then, I said BYU is a great, I think BYU had gone already independent. I said BYU is a great option for this reason. And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm kind of going back to my youth, to being 10 years old, watching Lavelle Edwards teams, watching Steve Young and Jim McMahon and Mark Wilson and those guys set records. Ty Detmer obviously set records after records after records. I loved watching BYU football. So I've got maybe, I guess you'd say, a soft spot in my heart. I'd like to go to Provo for some games. I'd like to see what a program like that could bring to the Big 12 Conference on a consistent, steady basis. Now, this particular case, obviously, we've got the pandemic going on. There's this whole thing of 10 games plus one, 9 games plus one. Do you play the full 12 games? The Big 12 is meeting. The presidents are all meeting later today to decide these things. Hey, man, I threw it out there. I said, just make the call. Stop flirting. Put the ring on BYU's finger and let's get to it.
Listen, we wish that could happen. That'd be amazing. And a couple of years ago, I think it was 2016 was the year when the two flirted, nothing happened. It was quite disappointing. We thought this was going to be BYU's invite to a Power 5 conference. Obviously, Utah being in the Pac-12 and BYU not has been a sore spot for a couple of years. And this could be a dry run for BYU in the Big 12. What you're saying makes total sense in terms of an attractive solution. So why not do this if you're the Big 12?
Yeah. Well, the way I phrased it, I think I did some Sirius XM radio about this yesterday. It ran this morning. I think the Big 12's afraid of commitment. I really do. You saw the whole dating game thing back in 2016. They wanted the possibility of having properties, having schools members in South Florida or in Florida was attractive to the Big 12, but they weren't quite ready to pull the trigger. They had other options. Houston, having another property in South Texas where all those great recruits come out of. There was a possibility there. Hey, we could invite Houston to this conference, but they just didn't make the commitment. And I think that's what's holding them back. I think right now they're more concerned in the scope of 2020 in the context of this pandemic. I think they're more concerned about keeping the status quo, trying to play 12 games if you can. And if you can't, it's okay to have a cancellation here or a cancellation there. I just think they're really, truly afraid of commitment.
John Hoover, publisher of SI Sooners, with us on BYU Sports Nation. As you referenced, the Big 12 decision makers, presidents, school officials, all meeting today to try and figure out what they're going to do with the 2020 scheduling madness. Based on everything that you have heard, what do you expect to come out of that meeting if there is a finalized decision?
Yeah, I think what we're expecting at this point, Dennis Dodd reported on Friday that there was a split. The athletic directors met via video conferencing, and there was a split in the vote between let's play our 12-game schedule, or at least try to get as many of those games in as we can. And the other side said, let's just play a conference schedule and have, if we can, add one non-conference game. Man, when you're talking about what the SEC is doing and the ACC is doing, what the Big Ten has decided and the Pac-12, and the look or the optics at the end of the season when the college football playoff tries to announce its, we're assuming that it's going to operate as business as usual. They're going to announce their Final Four. If you're the Big 12 and all you've played is a Big 12 schedule and then some FCS teams or some group of 5 teams, I think that's going to hurt. I think that's going to be injurious to the Big 12's playoff chances. But I do think that that's what we're ultimately going to see. You're going to see Missouri State open the season August 29th at Oklahoma. You're going to see Texas probably play either UTEP or South Florida. They're going to stick with that kind of scheduling model is my prediction. 9 conference games plus 1 that they can squeeze in somewhere.
Yeah, it's interesting because, yes, the college football playoff, which runs the championship of football, unlike all the other NCAA sports, they haven't said much. No bowl games have said anything either.
Right.
We're just hoping we play it all. And if we play, like you said, cancellation here, cancellation there, we're just hoping for football. Let's be honest. We're making all these schedules. We're hoping we just play. If we get 6 games in, I think I'll be happy. At this point, what are you expecting in terms of how many games are actually played and how this is going to work?
I do see the possibility. Man, I don't know. If you talk to Bob Bowlesby, I talk to Joe Castiglione from time to time. I listen to what he says. He has a weekly Friday radio show in Norman. It sounds like they're going to try to play the full conference games plus 1, maybe do away with, say in Oklahoma's case, since I cover OU, they have to travel September 26th to Army. Well, that's a game that when you compare what other Big 12 schools are doing non-conference wise, line them up and look at them side by side. That's one that really doesn't favor Oklahoma. So that's also a game. It's kind of an historical game, an opponent that everybody wants to go to the Service Academy and see that game. All the OU fans, they've already sold out their ticket allotment. They've got a bunch more tickets in waiting. That's a game that needs to have fans at it. So if they bump that game and then open with Missouri State, that's probably the scheduling model that they're looking at. But, at this point, guys, it's anybody's guess.
If there is a +1 model for the Big 12 or +2 or whatever, do you envision BYU being any part of that against any Big 12 institution?
I read today that Oklahoma State is making arrangements to play BYU on their September 3rd, I think, Thursday night home opener. So that's a possibility. That's certainly unconfirmed, but I read it in the local newspaper, the Tulsa World, where I live. So that's something that, hey, listen, guys, Bob Bowlesby, Big 12 presidents, just go all in. Stop flirting.
Yes,
just go all in and put that ring on that finger and give BYU in the Big 12 for 2020.
Listen, we'll take a date. We don't even need a ring. You know what I mean? We'll take a date right now. Let's go.
All right, John, let's finish with this. You saw what's happening in the Pac-12 with this player empowerment movement as they're looking to be compensated and they want to be taken care of. What kind of transition has taken place in the Big 12, if at all? Have you heard of anything happening like that in the Big 12 conference?
No, nothing yet. Texas players, Oklahoma players, they've all been very vocal about, equality, justice, Black Lives Matter, that kind of thing. When that was at its peak, you saw a lot of players from around the Big 12 involved in that. But in terms of, hey, I'm not playing until we get this NLI thing figured out, or hey, I'm not playing until we know for sure that the COVID situation has been mitigated to the point where we're all safe. That hasn't come up that I've seen. So, it's interesting that in the Pac-12, one of the quote unquote demands is we won't play until we get 50% revenue sharing for all the sports, when really there's only 2 sports that actually make revenue. I don't think that's a path that college athletes are ready to go down. My daughter played college soccer, and I know for a fact that women's soccer does not make money on the NCAA level.
John, great stuff. We appreciate the time, and I'm sure you're going to be a very busy man within BYU circles over the next few days and few weeks.
I hope so.
And if Oklahoma doesn't want to play Missouri State, you can always bring them to Provo. So just, float that out there
BYU
as well.
will go there. We're fine.
Or BYU go to Norman. That's cool, too.
We're desperate.
That's cool, too.
If you guys saw my schedule, you'll be having the Sooners sometime in November.
Okay.
Exactly.
We love it. John, great to have you with us, man. Thanks for the time.
See you guys.
John Hoover on the Deseret First Credit Union Hotline. Deseret First, you know why, we show how.
Okay, stay.